Hello and welcome to my channel and welcome to another Multichrome Monday. Today we have some more comparisons, and as you can already see from these, none of these are the jeweled black base type of multichromes. There are a couple in here, but they're only in here to compare them to this Terra eyeshadow, which I personally wouldn't consider these two to be like the jeweled type of multichromes. They're just a little bit different. So these are like Clionadh's vivid multichromes as well as the deep iridescent and a couple of more just iridescent shades as well as glitter multichromes, but I'm going to be doing a video on just the iridescent shades separately because there's so many. So this is going to just include these shades, and there's already 18 in here, so that's a lot. And I've previously done comparisons on some of these, so I will link that down below, but I'm going to be featuring them in this video again. So this is kind of like an updated version of that video. So I'm going to be showing you these swatches with my phone because it captures the shifts the best versus this camera and this lighting. And if there's a dupe that you know about that's not here, it's probably because I don't have either one of those shades to compare. So let's hop right into it. First up, we have Terra Counting Stars versus Devinah Everlasting Gobstoppers. And as you can see, these are very, very similar. I would say Devinah's probably just a bit more sparkly and shiny, but these almost look identical. Next up is Looxi Apollo and Clionadh Ripple, and these are pretty similar, but they're just a little bit different. I don't think they're different enough to have both of them, but it's kind of just a matter of preference. And the shift is also pretty different. Ripple shifts to a purple. Next up is Clionadh Cathedral and Looxi Dark Side of the Moon, which is one of their newest shades. And these are pretty similar, but Looxi's is definitely much darker. And because Looxi is darker, the shift is just not as apparent and not as strong. Next up is Clionadh Torch and Madure Makeup Labs Argon. And these are almost pretty much identical. Argon didn't swatch as well as Clionadh's. It was a bit flakier. Then we have Looxi Caterpillar and Devinah Lynx, and these are pretty similar, but Looxi's is brighter and Lynx is definitely more golden. So these are, I would say, pretty different from each other. Then we have Looxi Nectar and Devinah Gumballs. And I would say these are pretty much the same. They look very, very similar even in the shift, but Devinah's is definitely much, much more shinier and sparklier, and Looxi's just, you have to build it up a bit. Next up, we have Devinah Kazookles, Clionadh Glazed, and Devinah Runts. And these are all pretty similar, but glazed and runts are definitely the most similar in the main color and the shift as well. Kazookle's just a bit more purple. Then we have Looxi Supersonic Clionadh Carving. These are very, very similar, but Looxi is darker and the shift is not as strong as in Carving. Glazier's Mark and Devinah Skyla, and these are very, very similar as well. Skyla is darker, and I would say more magenta. Next up is Terra Inertia, which is one of the new shades, and Clionadh Vermeil, which I would say these are very, very different, as Vermeil is lighter and has a very, very strong green shift. Terra X-Ray and Devinah Swudge, and these are almost identical. These are just so, so similar. Exact same shift and everything. Then there's Clionadh Royalty and Terra Moontide, and these I thought when I first got them would be exact, but Royalty is definitely much darker. Next up is Terra Little Dipper, Devinah Nerds, and Clionadh Chiel. Nerds and Little Dipper are definitely the closest to each other. They're pretty similar, but Nerds is a little bit more green. Then we have Terra Orion's Belt and Clionadh Crown Jewel. These are pretty much identical. Orion's Belt just a bit more blue, a little bit darker, but otherwise, and they don't really shift much. We have Devinah Akia and Clionadh Verte, and these I thought would be almost exact, but they're just a bit different actually. Verte is definitely much more vibrant and just a bit lighter compared to Devinah's, and the shift is definitely different as well, as you can see. Next up, Clionadh Mosaic and Devinah Cygnus, and these ones I thought would be also exactly the same, but Cygnus is much more red and orange, and Mosaic has a stronger shift and it's lighter. And lastly, we have these three Terra Moons Sun Scorched, which is one of their new shades. And so it looks like it has quite a bit of a black base, which is why I compared it to Chromosphere and Burnish. But it's very different. On one side it looks similar to burnish, but the moment you bring it to another light it looks very, very different. So those are all the swatches. I hope that this was helpful for you so that you won't buy doubles, or helping you decide which shade you would prefer to purchase. And stay tuned for comparisons of the iridescent shades that will be coming up sometime soon on my channel. And if you found this video helpful and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. There's lots of indie makeup, shiny, sparkly, and shifty eyeshadow content already on my channel, and much more to come, so you don't want to miss out. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.